Old school Runescape is an old game. In case you haven't noticed, it's actually right there in the name of the game. What this means is that there's been a lot of time for certain patterns and certain expectations to emerge. Like there are certain types of players and behaviors that you can just expect to see when you log into the game. And since the game is having this Gridmaster community bingo event coming up in a few days, I thought, you know what? Why don't I just put a bunch of player stereotypes onto a bingo board and walk around the game and see how long it takes me to get bingo. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I guess first I should quickly go over all of these before I go on my little walk around Gillinor. First up, e-daters. If we see two people having maybe a little bit too intimate of a conversation out in public chat, that would fall under e-daters. AFK since 2006. Basically, if I see anyone with like full dragon, obsidian cape, basically whatever was considered really good in 2006, that's what that is. Vire Noble, that's the outfit that you get in Mauritania for one of the vampire quests. Why I put this outfit specifically on the board, you'll understand when you see it in game. Sweat, that would be anyone, for example, like 3 ticking, that's pretty sweaty. Cult, so that would be any group of players dressed identically, perhaps behaving in a weird way. Cat ears, like the Vire Noble outfit, this might be another thirst trap item that I expect to see out in the wild. Cute noob is basically anyone who's just started playing the game recently. A scammer, I feel like I don't need to go into this. If you've played this game for any amount of time, you know how to recognize a scam. WTF, bit of a wild card space in case I see something that I feel like should be on the board but doesn't really fit any of the other categories. One defense pure, I have a couple outfits but they should be recognizable. Inappropriate name, probably something sexual in it. Free stuff blocks, basically anyone begging for items or money, bot. So I put this as a free space because, come on, it's RuneScape. Iron Man in name, so anyone who has Iron, Iron Man, IM, GIM, FE in their name. XP waster, in parentheses, having fun. So that's basically anyone who's not gaining XP but seems to be having a good time. Actual gamer, so that's someone who's actually good at the game. Probably have like a Zuck helm or something. Giga Chad, so that's someone who's wearing like trimmed rune armor, for example, definitely a Giga Chad. Credit card warrior, so if I see that you have like 200 mil worth of equipment on you and you have 12 barrows chests and that's it in your boss KC, I'm gonna assume that you purchased that using a credit card. Insane conversation. If you ever spent any amount of time at like Shooting Stars or on Forestry Worlds, I feel like you've definitely run into one of these before. Rich AF, if I spot anyone with any sort of third age items, for example, elitism. Iron Man armor, so similar to Iron Man in name, just another way of immediately identifying who's an Iron Man, by the way. PKer, so someone who's skulled, has like, I don't know, dragon claws on them. Bank stander, so if I see someone standing at a bank and not actually skilling, but just like presumably staring, wondering what they're gonna do for the day. And finally, a spammer bot. Apparently, these have been cleaned up recently, but you know, you never know. If I walk by the Grand Exchange, I feel like the odds of not running into one is pretty slim. So those are our 25 spaces, and now you can quietly in your head choose one of the rows or columns that you think is gonna give bingo. And if you want to boost my engagement statistics, you can also leave your bet in the comments. And I guess it's time to get to it then. Time to go on a little walk. So I'm going to start my adventure in Lumbridge, as we all do. I am on world 302 because I want to run into as many individuals as we can. And what do I see as soon as I log in? Something that I think qualifies as WTF because I don't really know how to explain that. Now it's time to go for a little stroll and see what we come across. I feel like the cow pen has to be a good spot for finding a cute noob. There it is. I think this individual right here might be a cute noob. Just started playing again. He's played before, but it's been 10 years. I think that qualifies as cute noob. I think we should let this one slide. What do we have here? A Fury, a Fremennik Kilt, a Ranger Tunic, Ladies and gentlemen, I think we have a 1 def pure, which is concerning because that's already 3 for 3 on row number 2. And I would kind of like this video to last longer than 60 seconds, so hopefully we get some variety. I feel like the logical place to move on to would be the Grand Exchange, but at the same time, if I go to the Grand Exchange, I think the video will probably be done in another 15 seconds, so maybe it would be good to get some variety and go visit some different locations throughout the game. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a 2006 look, if I have ever seen one. I think this man has been AFK since 2006. I think that's another spot on the bingo board checked off. I was kind of hoping that the Draenor willow trees would lead to an insane conversation, but I guess it just was not meant to be. I feel silly for not putting graceful outfit on the bingo board. I feel like that really does belong, but I guess graceful outfit would have made a good free space. I've been standing here for a good couple minutes now. Would you believe me if I told you that not 1, not 2, but all 5 of these individuals here along the bank counters have not moved a muscle. No movement, no skilling action. Just here staring at their banks for at least the last couple minutes. Suffice it to say, that is the bank standard spot checked off the bingo board. Additionally, would you believe me that this guy right here, with the Dragon Plate body, the Amulet of Fury, and the Bandos Tacits, has exactly 0 KC in any boss. That is fantastic stuff. I think that we can safely check the Credit Card Warrior space off the board. I'm kind of surprised that we haven't run into any bots yet, but I feel like if there's one spot that there might be a bot, could be in here. I threw down 1 right click here and I found not 1, but 2 things that we've been looking for. We have Areola Kink, which I think is, I think that falls under inappropriate name. And we have someone with the GIM in their name, so that's a 2-for-1 special right there. I have to say, this is going quite a bit faster than I thought it would. But then again, what's the point of a bingo board if it's not, you know, easily predictable occurrences? I was hoping to catch someone here training Alk Agility, because that's kind of sweaty. I mean, I do it myself, but let's be real, that is kind of sweaty. Unfortunately not seeing any though. I feel like I really need to get that bot space ticked off, and I feel like I kind of thought that this would be a surefire way of ticking it off, but I guess not. I have to say, I'm genuinely surprised at how hard it has been to find a bot in all the usual spots. Well, I guess it may be because I'm on World 302. I feel like I've been teasing it long enough. It's time to go to Varrock. It's time to go to the Grand Exchange and see what we can see over there. What's this? What's this that I see? Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that this is the Vire Noble outfit. Now that's another bingo space checked off. Also, I think we can agree that Blood Torva, Fang Kit, Rancor Kit, Infernal Cape, I think that this individual qualifies as an actual gamer. I think they might be good at the game. We have someone here wearing Iron Man armor, so that's a spot. I didn't put a spot for bunny ears. I put a spot for cat ears, but not bunny ears, unfortunately. That is not a bingo. How is it that even at the Grand Exchange on World 302, the in-game chat is just so dead? I went AFK for a second and I got a clan invite. I feel like I should have put clan recruiter on the bingo board, but you know, we forget about these things. Everyone buys GP now. Well, if we haven't checked off Credit Card Warrior before, I think we definitely would now. I don't know if bragging about how much money you spent on certain things counts as elitism. Third age kinda bad, that's elitism. Absolutely, that is elitism. Any normal person would love to have third age. I was about to say that the Grand Exchange hasn't been that fruitful, but what do I see here? 2 individuals doing the dance. Suffice it to say that these are E-daters. Oh, and what do we see here behind them? In the trimmed mithril armor, that is a Giga Chad. That is another 2-for-1. 2 spots checked off just like that. Give me 5 million GP for high reward. That's a scam. We all know for a fact that's a scam. That's a scammer right there. So right now we're looking into either finding someone wearing cat ears or finding someone begging for free stuff. And we have our bingo. We have some people seated around the fire here, drinking their tea. I think that absolutely counts as people who are XP wasting and having fun. Oh my god, ladies and gentlemen, we got them. We got the cat ears. Cat ears checked off. That is a double bingo. That is a double bingo. We have a row and a column completed at the same time. If any of you out there bet on either column A or row 2, congratulations. Congratulations. Thank you for participating in the first and probably last edition of RuneScape Stereotype Bingo. And have fun on Gridmaster, I guess.